What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? That felt like a good clap. Rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. All right, today we have an optic from a maybe a lesser known company, definitely a company that's newer to me. It's called Tech. We're going to check out their 1-6x24 optic. Before we get into this, I do want to give a quick background on Tech, because if you're like me, you probably don't know much about them. They are hunters. Everything they design, the features, the magnification, if you look on their website, even the pictures and the videos that are on there, the reticles definitely are geared towards hunters. 100% hunting, backcountry hunting. I also want to let you know they offer lifetime warranty on their optics, which I always think are great. Besides this low power variable optic, they have some binoculars, a very basic red dot, and most of their optics are high magnification optics, again, for the hunting applications. I went with the 1-6x24 because I'm not a big hunter. I'm more of a self-defense shooter, tactical shooter, whatever you want to call it. That's why I chose the 1-6. All right, let's get right into this budget-friendly optic. It is a second focal plane like most budget-friendly optics, which means the holdovers that we're going to talk about here in a little bit only work at max magnification. First focal plane optics will work, the holdovers will work on any magnification, but they are definitely a lot more expensive. The diopter is pretty cool. It's unique in a way. It has a ton of a ton of adjustment back and forth to make sure that reticle is crisp and clear for your eyes. If you don't know, diopter focuses the reticle to your eyesight. The unique part is it has this little locking ring right here. So once you have the diopter set where you want, you bring the locking ring up to the diopter, and now the diopter can't move forward. So when you come up for that shot, if you're hunting or God forbid self-defense, you know that the reticle is going to be crisp, clear, look good, and you shouldn't have any problems there. The next thing I want to talk about is eye relief, eye box, and glass clarity. The eye relief at one-time magnification is 3.9 inches, which is really good, again, for a fairly budget optic. So I'm going to say the eye relief, which is how far the optic can get away from your eye, is very good. The eye box is kind of how it is left to right, up, down, and I'll say the eye box is good. It's definitely not bad. It is good. There are some other 1-6s that are a little better, but this is good. And then finally, the glass clarity here. Hopefully I can get a good recording through an optic. I don't have the best equipment for that, but the glass clarity is very good as well. Sliding on up the magnification ring. Now, if you watch any of my reviews on low power variable optics, I'm very nitpicky on how smooth these rings are and how hard. A lot of the budget-friendly optics are very, very hard to move this ring. This is very, very smooth. I think it's perfect. I don't think it's too easy where it's going to get bumped, but it's not too hard at all. They did a great job designing the stiffness of the magnification ring. It's very smooth. They nailed it. It does come with a removable speed lever. If you don't want that on there, you can take it off. Now, the one thing I don't love is the location of the dot. They put the dot in there to help you focus where what magnification you're on, and I think it should be in front of the magnification ring so you can see it easier. It's behind the magnification ring and it's down, so you have to come all the way up off the gun like this to see that dot. I don't ever look for that dot anyway, so I personally don't care, but I wanted to point it out if that's something that's important to you. It's not in the best spot. I think it's there because of this locking diopter. There's nowhere else to put it. But hey, everything comes with a pro and a con. All right, the reticle is pretty cool. They call it an RAR. It is an MOA style reticle. It is simple and it's very, very effective. I like the 3 hash marks on the outside. It definitely helps focus my eye, or I feel like it helps focusing my eye on the center of the reticle. I don't know if it makes a difference, but it makes me feel good. My favorite part of the reticle is what illuminates when you turn the illumination on. It's just the dot and the circle around it. I don't like when companies illuminate the entire reticle. That's very distracting to me. I only want that dot, preferably. If not the dot, and the circle around is fine, but I love how they did it. The dot in the middle is 2 MOA. The circle around it is 12 MOA. And let me just pull up on my phone here the reticle, a couple notes. They did a great, great job where the reticle is very, very simple, where every single hash mark is 2 MOA. The distance between is 2 MOA. Just so you know, 1 MOA is roughly 1 inch at 100 yards. So if you want to keep it basic and just look at the hash marks for holdovers, it's 2 MOA for every single hash mark. But every single little inch of this reticle can be used for ranging. every single little bit. I'm not going to go into all of it. You see it up here on the screen. If you buy one of these, you can study the reticle. I'm not going to bore you with it. But every single little inch of this optic, if your memory is good enough, can be used for different types of ranging. So I think they did a great job there. All right, sliding on up to the windage and elevation turrets. They are capped turrets. They are low, so they shouldn't really get in your way. You can zero reset them, which means you sight in your optic, so it's good to go. And then there's an Allen on both of them. You unscrew that Allen, and then you can bring the turret back to zero. Now that's helpful because if you're shooting and you need to make adjustments on the fly, when you're done, you know where your zero is originally, and you can go back to that original zero. It's half MOA adjustments per click. They are very tactile. They are slightly audible if you care, and there's a total of 80 MOA adjustments, which isn't bad for a budget optic. The one thing I really love that a lot of budget-friendly optics don't do is right here on well, facing the shooter, there's directions on when you're making those adjustments, which way up and down is and which way left and right is. So again, if you're shooting and you're making adjustments on the fly, you don't need to pick your head all the way up to look at those dials. You can stay down on the rifle and you'll still know up, down, left, right. That is something that probably didn't cost them a ton of money, but that is great. Again, not all budget-friendly optics have it. Battery compartment. Man, I'm out of breath today. The battery is a CR2032 standard. No issues, no problems there. It has 6 brightness levels, which is fine. The big win here is it has an off position in between each brightness setting. I love that feature. I'm getting used to that feature. I'm spoiled with that feature, and even budget-friendly optics should probably have that on there. It's very nice. I can leave it right in between 5 and 6 or 4 and 5 or wherever you want to leave it, and whether I go up or down, I'm going to get a nice bright reticle. Good to go. Man, I absolutely love that. Again, the dot and the ring around it is the only thing that illuminates, which is great, and it is just barely daylight bright. Again, I don't use the illumination during the day. The black etched reticle is fine for me. If you're different and you want that on, it's just barely daylight bright and works great in low light as well. All right, a couple quick facts here. The tube size is a standard 30mm tube. Guys, do not skimp on your mounts. Mounts, super important if you're going to get an optic. The length is 9.5 inches and the weight is just over 20 ounces, so it's a tiny bit heavier than some of the competition. MSRP is $500. Street price at the time I'm making this video right now is $450. I will try to put some affiliate links down in the video description and hopefully find you a good deal. Last feature I have is the field of view, because I think this one is important. At one-time magnification at 100 yards, it is 99 feet. If you kick it all the way up to 8 times magnification, 6 times, not 8, excuse me, it is 17 feet. So again, pretty good. There's some other budget optics that have it beat by a tiny bit, but not bad. All right. Testing, pros, cons, and then you can get out of here. You are not allowed to leave yet. These are the testing first. I've had this for several months now. I've had it for a while. I'm starting to see Zerotech optics on other folks' YouTube and Instagram pages, so they're starting to make some noise and a splash, and I've had this for a few months. I mounted it on my Reticle mount. Again, don't skimp on your mounts. I put several 100 rounds of 22 through here. Look, 5.56 ammo is expensive. I probably put close to 1,000 rounds of 22 with this optic on a rifle. As far as 5.56/223 rounds, it has been on a 10.3, an 11.5, and a 16-inch rifle. I try to get it on a little bit of variety of everything just for the test. And 5.56 rounds, it probably has 300-ish rounds of 5.56, and again, maybe not 1,000 rounds of 22, but quite a few rounds of 22. So the testing that I did, obviously I start by sighting it in. Every time it got put on one of those optics, we get a quick dirty sight in just so I can hit the target and not miss. After that, I always do a lot of one-ups with the new optic. I like to see how that eye box and eye relief is and the clarity and picking up the reticle and all that stuff. It's a good way to get familiar with optics. Usually switch on to transitions, transition back and forth from different targets. Again, eye relief, eye box type drill. After the one-ups, after the transitions, I did a little barricade work. And then after that, I just did a bunch of plinking, supported, unsupported, all different distances. You get the point. I think this optic got a very, very solid test for something that's relatively inexpensive. So my pros: it has a very, very useful and very, very simple reticle. If you want to keep it simple, the hash marks are there, 2 MOA in between, nice and easy. If you want to be more advanced, the reticle has those options. If you can remember, there's a million different holdovers on the reticle. They did a great job making it simple for the folks who want it simple, and advanced if the features are there if you want it to be more advanced. I love that only the dot and the circle illuminates, not the entire reticle. I find that distracting. The locking diopter is a very unique feature for an optic at this price. This is something you see in much more expensive optics, not something at this price. I love the off positions in between each illumination position. So it goes 1 off, 2 off, 3 off. I love that feature, and I'm kind of starting to expect it. Now the magnification ring, I don't think many of you are going to care about this, but having a smooth and most of the magnification rings are too stiff for optics in this price range. I'll say it that way. And this is nice and smooth, and that's like my weird pet peeve. Oh yeah, the other thing I want to say is that the arrow is facing the shooter. The up, down, left, right for your adjustments, that's facing the shooter, so you don't have to come all the way off the optic. That is a great feature as well. Nitpicky con, where the dot is for the magnification ring. I don't think many people use this, but if you do, it's kind of in a weird spot where you got to come all the way up on and look down on the reticle to see that hash mark. So if you care, now you know. Overall, I think it is a decent optic for the money. There is a ton of competition in this price range. There's a lot of really, really good budget-friendly optics in this price range. Just tons of them. I couldn't even begin to name them all, but I have reviewed quite a bit of them. This one here is a little bit more expensive than some of its competition, but it has a couple really nice features that I just mentioned in the pros that other ones do not. So I think it should be on the list. If you like those unique features that I mentioned in an optic this price point, definitely put it on the list. And if you want one, again, check those affiliate links. Hopefully I can find you a good deal, but who knows? All right, let me thank Zero Tech for sending me out this low power variable optic. I greatly appreciate them supporting this small but growing channel. Very, very kind of them. If you want to support this small but growing channel, we have some new swag, some new Tiberious shirts. If you did notice, the link is down there if you want to hook me up with buying a shirt. Man, I got all tongue twisted there. Also, links down there for my other social media, Instagram and Facebook. If you want to know what reviews I'm working on right now in real time, follow me on Instagram and Facebook. More important than anything else, thank you very, very much for watching. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. Like and comment if you think I deserve it. It's free, helps me out, really helps the algorithms. More important, subscribe, enable the bell notifications. Again, if you think I deserve it, it's free, doesn't hurt, but it definitely helps me out. I'll see you guys next time. Peace!